Can't see shit. What's up, everybody? What last video? I'm not sure which last video. The video about the band. It's hot. Yeah, no, y'all. It was pouring rain this morning, and I was just, I was just, I was gonna go to the gym. I go to the gym in the morning, and it was just pouring rain, and I just was like, I wasn't feeling it. So I'm at home on my little mini treadmill, gonna get my steps in, gonna do my mile and a half that I do, and then I'll do free weights when I'm done with this. I make content on THCA. I don't have anything against it. I made a whole video about how I feel about THCA or whatever. It's just the reality. The reality of the situation is that the powers that be, they weren't really concerned about anything until THCA came into the picture, because type 3 and type 4 flower, type 3 and type 4 flower were not cutting into anybody's profits or anything. They weren't taking anything away from the cannabis industry, the tobacco industry, the alcohol industry. Whereas THCA was, and it's just the reality of it. That's just the truth. That's just the raw truth. There's no sugarcoating it. You can't beat around the bush. It is what it is. You know, you can't get pissed off at the truth. It's just it's an unfortunate reality. You know what I mean? We have, what, 363 days now. So the countdown started on Wednesday, 365. Yesterday was 364. We're at 363. And basically everybody's counting down that 365 days until the new bill takes effect. But the reason I even got on live and everything, I know everybody's anxious to talk about things and all that. There is a resistance. There is a fight back that is being planned, is being put together. There's multiple groups. Stony Crook, that doesn't make sense. I'm not dissing. I'm not dissing anything. It's just the truth. It is what it is. Everybody knows it, and if you can't admit that, that's your own bias. Even if I could have had a THCA company, and I'm just an honest person, I would say yes, okay. We're selling it easier and cheaper than everywhere else. It's cutting into the profits of all these different industries, all these corporations. They want us gone. That's just the reality of it. The hemp industry is really big, and it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and it has over 325,000 jobs. But the people that want it gone are much bigger. All right, the beverage industry, like in case you didn't know, one of the people that supported this spending bill and this redefinition was Coca-Cola, the Coca-Cola company. Not Anheuser-Busch or tobacco companies. I mean, I'm sure they were, but I'm saying unlikely suspect was Coca-Cola. So you have a lot of powerful people, and that's just that. That's just from the monetary, financial, business side of things. Then you have all of these politicians like Mitch McConnell. And you know what's crazy is that Mitch McConnell was the main reason that the hemp bill became a thing in the first place. Was Mitch McConnell. And a lot of people are saying like, oh, he hold on. Oh man, I'm making horrible time. When I go to the gym, my pace is much quicker. I usually jog. Anyways. And so Mitch McConnell made it like his personal mission to undo what he did. They came down hard, and if, like I said in my video about the ban, this is a government conspiracy, like, not to sound crazy or anything, but we can't downplay it. This was a corrupt effort between a lot of different entities, politicians, and the lobbyists who pay their way to get rid of hemp. And that's the reason why it was snuck into the spending bill, what is called a must-pass bill. Everybody wanted to reopen the government, right? You had all these government workers who were furloughed. They're not working. They're not getting paid. There was a whole thing with the SNAP benefits, the EBT and everything. That was put on hold. The country was anxious for a new spending bill to be passed. And they knew that. And that's why they snuck it in there. So that nobody would have any warning. Nobody would be able to do anything about it, like usual. Usually when there's proposed legislature, it starts with committees in the Senate. It starts with different committees, and people lobby it, and there's debate, and the whole process. And that's why sometimes it can take months or years for certain things to come to become an actual law. This, though, they slipped it in the spending bill that everybody was going to expedite because we wanted to reopen up the government. And they slipped it in very sneakily. It was a perfect plan. It was a perfect plan. They executed it perfectly. By the time anybody realized what was going on, it was too late. Rand Paul and the Zodiac killer, Ted Cruz, they tried to put a stop to it. They tried to put forth an amendment to the bill. They swatted them away like flies. And in 3 days, it went from a bill in the Senate to the House of Representatives. So what? It was Monday. It was being voted on in the Senate. Rand Paul and the Zodiac killer tried to stop it. It passed the Senate. Tuesday, it went to the House of Representatives. House of Representatives voted on it by like 5 o'clock. By Wednesday, it was in the White House. Trump signed it into law Wednesday evening. Nothing ever moves that fast. So, It was a perfectly executed plan. I mean, it was a master class effort in deception and corruption and everything bad. So it's a done deal, right? Trump signed it into law on Wednesday. So we have 365 days before it takes place, before it takes effect. I'm sorry, and then everything will officially be illegal on whatever day it is, November 9th, 2026. So we have until then to try to do something about it. Shout out to Palestine. And this isn't a matter of politics or I mean, it is a matter of politics, but this isn't a matter of whether you are a Republican or a Democrat or support Trump or not. I mean, it's just what happened, right? The Republicans pushed us through, the GOP. And funnily enough, Rand Paul is a Republican, and he's actually the main one who tried to stop it. So, I mean, it's all over the place. Let me try to read some of these comments. Good thing all the outdoors dropping. I'm about to stock up. Yep. Stock up a couple pounds. If look, I'm gonna make a post on Reddit about this. If you do buy in bulk and you plan on trying to save it, first of all, you don't need to do that right now, I don't think. Again, we have a year. The most imminent danger, I'm going to tell you what right now. Hold on, let me read these comments. Hold on. Okay, yeah, you see, that's a topic at hand. Everybody wants to know how they can buy bulk and keep it fresh. Okay. So the most imminent danger right now, right, like the thing that could go wrong tomorrow, is all of these different vendors. They use Square and they use Shopify. And they use other websites, but the point is they have credit card processing. And the credit card processing is what allows them to take orders electronically, right? Like how all commerce is done these days. The worst thing that could happen right now is that because of this new bill, credit card processors could stop accepting hemp companies. And then people wouldn't be able to take orders because they wouldn't be able to take payment. So for the near future, that's kind of the scary thing. And there's nobody's threatened to do that. It hasn't happened yet, but it could happen. The credit card processors are not obligated in any way to handle anything they don't want to. They have the right to refuse anybody's service. So if they want to proactively act and shut down their credit card processing, then we would kind of be at a crisis, right? So if you're going to panic buy, just keep in mind that we have a year. You have a year to stock up. But in case, I'm just warning you, in case you're worried about credit card processing or website hosting going down, that's like the only valid reason to panic buy. All right. Otherwise, if you're not worried about that, I wouldn't worry about it now. Uh, all the new outdoor. I need. Hold on. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me change my shoes. I'm not wearing my usual shoes. Hold on. Give me just a second. What was I saying? Oh yeah, all of the outdoor that is going up for sale right now, that's going to be good through the summer, right? It's still going to be fresh. It's still going to be fragrant. It's still going to be yummy. I usually say, and a lot of hemp farmers don't like me to say this, right? But this is my opinion, and I think it's true. Usually around August-ish is when I kind of have the cutoff for last year's flower. Like that's kind of when it's too, not even that it gets dry. It's just it's no matter how you store it, it's an organic material, and it's decomposing and degrading the second they chop it down, right? And so it's chopped in October. So October, November, no, yeah, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. It stays good for about 10 months. But once you get to like August, like it's good through the summer. Towards the end of the summer, I'm not interested anymore, and it's like at that point, just wait for the next year's harvest. We might not have a next year's harvest, but I'm just saying, you have all, you got all winter, all spring. Don't go crazy buying stuff right now unless you're worried about the credit card processing. So I'm gonna give that disclaimer that I did warn you. But I'm not necessarily concerned with that. So, I'm not trying to like fill up some totes with a bunch of units and stuff. There's a lot of new strains this year. There's more new strains this year than there has ever been in previous years. So get the samplers, buy small amounts of individual strains, see what you like first, and then go buy the bulk, right? There's all this new stuff. There's all this Purple Snowman, Daiquiri Factory, Demi Glaze, Lavender Cupcakes, Goat Butter, Fire OG, Strawberry Split, Strawberry Fritter, Swizzlers, Sweet Tarts, Rock Candy, Larry OG. Lost Oak has a Larry OG. There's a bunch of new stuff. What's up, Tony? Hope you're doing well, Tony. Good to see Tony on the chat. There's a bunch of new strains. And then, of course, there's all the classics, right? You got all your Bubba's, Royal, OG, Lemon Octanes, Rainbow Sherbets, all that good stuff. But there's a ton of new stuff to try. So try all that new stuff. And then go buy your bulk for the in case. And which brings me to, if you do buy that bulk, the best way to store it is to vacuum seal it. Like I said, I'm gonna make a post on Reddit about this, and I'm gonna I'll put some links to the equipment that I think is best, or that is used by like the professionals that's used in the cannabis industry, or that's used by the farms. But you're gonna want to like get a food saver thing. You want to vacuum seal your bud and keep it in a dark, cool place. All right. So, like if you got a basement, that's a good place. You want to keep it somewhere that's dark, somewhere that doesn't get too hot. In the summer, you don't want it cooking. And if you can't do that, if you can't vacuum seal it, if you can't invest in a food saver machine, the second best way to do it is to put it in glass mason jars. You want to put it in mason jars and then put those in a cool, dark place. Is there any strain man? There's a lot of strains. The ones that I'll just say like my short list of strains that I can't wait to try the new ones is the Larry OG, the Daiquiri Factory, the Demi Glaze, the Fire OG, the Goat Butter. I'm sure there's some other ones, but just off the top of my head, like when I went to Oregon, these are the ones that the looks or the smell have just stuck with me. Cozy said, "What vendors have you been smoking on recently?" Hard. I don't have my glasses on. I'm sorry. Hard for me to. Oh damn. Oh, shit. My bad. I put my foot in the wrong place. You know how that goes. What was I saying? I keep doing it. Necessity CBD. I haven't tried Necessity's new stuff, but that's indoor. Damn, dude. All right, hold on. I'm gonna have to. I'm concentrating on too many different things. I'm on like one of the miniature treadmills, so it's really narrow. And so I keep stepping too far off to the side, and it's like one foot's getting pulled down, and the other one's staying in place. Yeah, a lot of people are talking about. I tried Necessity's last drop, which was their the Abacus, the Zion's Abacus, the pineapple sugar cookies, and the legendary OG. Which for some old, dusty genetics, those are pretty good. But like you see, like what Tony said right there, the yak is straight skunk. I haven't tried the new stuff, and I'm, just realistically, I'm deep into the budget. I'm deep into that budget type of timing right now, so. Yeah, I gotta, if I'm gonna buy any flower, it's gotta be the most bang for the buck. And so there's all this fresh outdoor that's coming out. And Necessity's not even super expensive or anything. It's just like I could get like triple the amount of flower with outdoor. You know what I mean? So if money was no issue though, but we'll see. We'll see. But Necessity's good. One thing I did get, which I actually showed you like a month and a half ago, was I got Andaway Garden's new flower, his new indoor. And Andaway's new indoor, not every strain, like the Peyton's lemons, even he'll tell you himself that came out not great. That came out not great. But the RVR cherry is fire. The Miracle RVR is not as fire as a cherry, but it's up there. And the lemon jelly. If you tried Andaway's lemon jelly last time, This one is louder. All right, this one's louder, is better. And his 8s are like $15 or 16, 17, something like that for indoor. So if you're waiting for the new outdoor to come out, you want some indoor, one thing I have tried that I could tell you is the Andaway Gardens. Like $17. Oh shit. Those 3 strains. And he has other ones like the indoor RVR. That one's good. Oh no, the jelly, is it the, no, it's the jelly. Anyway, but those 3 strains. If you need something right now, go to Andaway, get those. I don't have a coupon code, but just let him know in the notes that Shabazz sent you. Let him know Shabazz sent you. Maybe he'll send you a sample of something else or something. But it's great bang for the buck. Great bang for the buck. You can get like, he's almost half the price of all other indoor out there. Merlin says you got to start reviewing the indoor so they send you free samples. There's not a lot of indoor out right now. There's not. Just off the top of my head, like the indoor that I know is fresh and smokable right now that's available is Beliefer, Necessity, and Andaway. And I'm not saying that's it, but that I know because I've tried or because other people have told me that I trust their opinion. Other people have told me it's good, such as Tony talking about the Necessity. I trust Tony's opinion. He knows what's good flower. Yeah. Beliefer. Oh, that's another one. Always Beliefer. Beliefer's indoor. The Lemon Fade. The great Lemon Fade is straight up OG Kush. All right. Yeah, CBD isolate will exist. CBD isolate, CBG isolate, CBN isolate. As long as they can make it legally, that will exist. Because that has no THC whatsoever. So you could buy a pound of CBD isolate because, yes, they put a total THC limit on hemp, right? They redefined it as a 0.3 total THC. But what most people don't know and what actually destroys everything is they put a limit on the amount of THC per container. So you're only legally allowed to sell or ship 0.4 milligrams of THC per container. All right. So that means that it's not even going to be legal to like ship a single gram of CBD flower, full spectrum CBD flower. So anything that has no THC, such as isolates, will be perfectly fine. They meet every. Isolates are isolates aren't. Isolates are very limited in their use. I quit all THC and Delta 9 a couple months ago. Just had that point where I needed a change. Considered picking up some CBD type leaf flower to keep away from alcohol. Espresso, great choice. Not that there's anything wrong with THC. I'm a cannabis extremist, right? I believe in cannabis of all types, for all ailments, for all age groups, and all species. And I say species because animals, our pets, dogs and cats, horses and whatnot, can benefit greatly from cannabinoids as well. So whatever it is that does it for you, oh my bad, 0.04, yeah. So whatever it is that does it for you, I'm an advocate for that. But CBD type 3 flower can be a godsend and has been a godsend for many, many people. So Beliefer, Necessity, Andaway. Beliefer, I have a coupon code. I believe it's just Shabazz. Maybe it's Shabazz 15. You can go find it. Go look at my video description of my IG. Necessity, I have a code. I think it's just Shabazz. Andaway, I don't have a code, but Andaway is like half the price of both of them, and just let them know Shabazz sent you. And Andaway really needs the. Andaway is one of those types of companies that he has never gotten the type of exposure that he needed to, and so his sales have never met the quality that his flour. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, the quality of flour that Andaway has, he should be selling way more of it, which is not enough people know about it. Like, you know, you go on like Reddit or whatever, you hardly see anybody leaving reviews on any Andaway flour or anything like that. So if you're just looking to try something new and you don't want to spend a lot and you want indoor, I recommend Andaway. Like, but don't go buying the Peyton's lemons and then come back and be like, oh, that shit was trash. I'm telling you, don't buy that one. Get the RVR cherry, get the lemon jelly or jelly cookies, whichever one it is, the fresh batches, and the Miracle RVR. There might be another one too, but off the top of my head, those three. You get those three, you'll be straight. I really like the cherry and the lemon jelly. Those are my two favorites, if I could only choose two. And let them know Shabazz sent you. Yeah, so you see, I hit a mile. I hit a mile in 30 minutes. I'm here. I'm trying to not fly off this machine while talking. In the gym, I got my mile down to, right now I could do like 18 minutes. Which I know some of you are like, I do a mile in 9 minutes. This fat piece of shit. But hey, I can run up my stairs and not be out of breath, you know. So I'm making progress, all right? I just got some kava delivered to me. I posted on my IG story. It's funny because I posted on my IG story yesterday that in all of this ban and everything, people might start looking towards alternatives. What can they use for their, if you use like CBD, CBG, all that for therapeutic anxiety purposes, you might start looking for some other natural alternatives that can help you. And I posted on my Instagram story, kava is a good substitute. All right. Kava is I posted on my IG story. Kava is a good substitute. It's all natural. It has, it's mildly intoxicating. You know, it's not like a heavy drug. It's not even like kratom or anything like, you know, kratom. If you do enough kratom, you could get quite the effect. Kava's not like kava. To me, kava is the best kind of equivalent to a type 3 experience. It doesn't have any sort of negative health effects. It doesn't have any sort of negative after effects. It's not addicting. It's all natural. It's a ground up plant root from the Polynesian islands in the Pacific Ocean, and it's a ground up plant root that's dried, and you basically steep it in water like a tea. Or this one that I just got has MCT oil. I've never tried it with a fat carrier. People say if you use it with a fat carrier, it's stronger. I always just do it the straight up island way, which is just put the powder with water and put it in a shell and drink it. You know, like the Samoans do and the Tongans. But adding the fat and oil carrier is a new thing and it really helps bind the it really helps bind the alkaloids. The kavalectones is the active ingredient in kava. I guess the fat, the oil, helps those kavalectones really absorb. Anyways, so looking at kava, and my point was, I posted that on IG yesterday, and the IG algorithm worked because I'm scrolling down, and about 10 minutes later, I see an ad for this company called Voodoo Kava. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And I keep reading it, and it's like, oh, we're located in the Los Angeles area. And I'm like, oh. And I just left a comment. I left a comment on the post. I'm like, do you have any plans, or are you going to start shipping? Are you going to start shipping? Is the point. Or, you know, is it going to be the type of thing where people can order online? And I said, I was planning on doing a kava video at some point in time on my YouTube channel. And so, you know, I see this local company. I'm like, oh, you know, this is the type of thing. Maybe I'll try them out someday. When they start shipping, I'll make a video of it. And everybody who watches, maybe they'll place orders. And this dude, he hit me up in my DMs. He's like, I want to give you a bottle for free. Let me know where you live. And this morning, he pulled up. He gave me a bottle. It's in the fridge. So maybe this weekend I'll bust out the shell. I'll throw in some Fiji, some J-Bug, and have a little session. Make a video on it or something. Somebody said ashwagandha. I've tried ashwagandha. I think the problem is that I've never done enough ashwagandha to really feel it, I guess. So I can't tell you. I know some people say like, oh, ashwagandha is the kind of thing where it just relaxes you. It works in the background like a CBD isolate or something. I don't know. I never felt it. I've tried it. I never felt it. Maybe I need a different brand. Maybe I need a higher dose. Maybe there's different kinds, kind of like, you know, how there's magnesium, like glycinate and magnesium, whatever. There's different kinds. What else? There's kratom. And I'm not opposed to kratom. I'm not pro kratom. I'm not opposed to kratom. I've tried kratom. I have some kratom. I think kratom is largely one of those things where, depending on your body chemistry, will depend on will determine how positive of an experience you'll have with kratom. For me, I tried different doses of kratom, different strains, everything, and I'm kind of in the middle about it. The reason why I'm not against kratom, though, is, again, kratom is an all-natural thing, and while kratom can be habit-forming if you are pounding grams and grams of it all day long, if you don't abuse it, it's fine. And kratom has saved a lot of lives. And so anything that's natural, that's not going to kill you, anything that's natural, you can't overdose on, and it can save lives, I'm for it. All right. I'm just, as far as the effects go, it's results may vary. All right. Some people say that they do kratom, and it feels exactly like an opioid. Right. They're like, oh, I used to be addicted to Vicodin. I used to be addicted to oxys, and now I do like 10 grams of kratom a day. That's great. I'm glad. For me, I've done opioids before. I've popped oxys. I've never abused anything. I just want everybody to know this. I've recreationally done not a lot of drugs, but some. Never abused any though. Never been hooked on anything. Never done anything to a dangerous amount or to the point I've lost control. But Yeah, I don't know. Kratom to me was not. I wouldn't just offhand compare it to an opioid. But anyways, you got kratom, you got kava. Jesha, Lost Oak Farm said talk about hemp. I talked about hemp for 30 minutes. Right now I'm on the segment of talking about if hemp goes away, what are some alternatives? Actually, I wasn't even trying to talk about that. I was just telling people I got a bottle of some Solomon Island kava this morning. Let's see. Jose said I have to start getting a bunch of ounces from Lost Oak Farm, Horn Creek, Believer, and Andaway. Make sure you throw Fern Valley in that mix. Throw Fern. If you didn't watch, if any of you are here right now and you haven't watched episodes 1 and 2 of Oregon Hemp Heaven Season 3, leave this video and go do that right now. Go. Because you can get an up-close, intimate look at all of the new strains and developments that both Lost Oak Farms and Fern Valley Farms are having this year. And check this out. Lost Oak Farms put up their, hold on. Yes, Lost Oak Farms put up 5 strains yesterday, their first 5 strains. The Purple Snowman, which is a brand new one. And they got the Lemon Octane, Critical Berries, Royal OG, and one other one. So if you want that new harvest, you can get 5 new strains. Use code BAZZ, B-A-Z-Z, and use code BAZZ to get a nice discount. And then from Fern Valley has released about 10 new strains so far. And use code, I think my code for them is Shabazz, my whole name. And you get a nice discount from Fern Valley as well. Man, I don't have my glasses on, so if I'm missing your comments, it's not intentional. I literally cannot see. Christopher said your videos got me interested in flannel. I only tried 1 drop from Flannel Boys, and that Motor Breath is Motor Breath, that's some straight gas. If you like that old school Chem Dog, sour diesel, jet fuel, OG Kush type of gas that's gonna make like your neighbors call the police on you, that's what that is. Revelry consistently though, I've tried like 4 drops from Revelry. It's all fire. Revelry is like very modern exotic. RPS said, I don't fuck with psychedelics and kratom doesn't sound like the move for me. Damn it. When you said pre-98 was rushy, what did you mean? The pre-98, until you build a tolerance up for that particular strain, the pre-98 hits you hard and fast. That's what I mean by rushy. I don't mean rushy in like a sativa sense. It's rushy as in it hits you hard and fast. All right, Jessica. Jesse got to go do some chores before his wife throws him out. Man, I am sweating in this windbreaker. More companies need to list the harvest date. Well, I mean, even if they don't put the harvest date on the package, you know when they harvested. For example, Fern Valley harvested from September 20th to November 9th. So anything you get from them besides the CBDV is within those dates. Lost Oak Farms, I think harvested from like September 29th or something like that to like the second week of October or the third week of October, something like that. Besides, again, the CBDV. So anything you get is from that 3 to 4 week window. No, the pre-98 is a type 3. It's not gonna, you're not gonna panic or anything. It's just you gotta smoke it a few times before it like you get relaxed from it. Because the first couple times you're gonna be like, ooh, you're not gonna panic, you're not gonna have anxiety, or the worst part. It's funny. I could deal with the panic. I can deal with the panic. No, I can deal with the paranoia, the overthinking, which is necessary sometimes. What really gets me is the heartbeat, feeling like you're gonna have a heart attack. That's the scariest part. But yeah, it doesn't do that. But that pre 98 is that pre 98. That's getting kind of old and crispy at this point. I think the replacement for that this year might be that Larry OG. So from Lost Oak, the Larry OG, the strawberry fritter, the goat butter, the fire OG, the lavender cupcakes, the demi glaze, and the orange fritter is like some super perps. If you want some super perps, that orange fritter is super perps. But even the purple snowman is perps, but the purple snowman is like bright, like fuchsia, like pinkish purple perps. Whereas orange fritter is like GDP type of perps, like super dark purple. The lavender cupcakes is somewhere in the middle. It's kind of a light lavender. And then they got the blue nitro again this year. Blue nitro's fire as ever. So get whatever you want, but if you're just looking for my recommendation, when LOF drops, more flavors, those are the ones. That's a good question. JC said, does the letter of law enforcement really matter? At this point in time, I don't care. If first of all, most companies don't send letter to law enforcement anymore. Some do. If they don't, I stopped caring about that. I don't know, over a year, no, not even, like 2 years ago, most companies stopped sending letter to law enforcement. And the reason why is because the USPS became very laxed and became very consistent with sending hemp. And so, packages being intercepted and everything, it became rare. And then let's be honest, a lot of times when packages would get intercepted, the rare occurrence, it was for a good reason. A lot of times, I'm not saying every time, but it was rare. And it was questionable if the letter to law enforcement even did anything to help in that situation. So, just in my opinion, letter to law enforcement don't really matter. We'll see though. We'll see with the new laws and everything this year. If the USPS starts again proactively doing anything, credit card processing, website hosting, you never know. We might have to bring back a stack of paperwork for every shipment again. Aaron said, "What's the best seed bank to buy from?" High Alpine. Or get some Zoe Therapeutic seeds from Tweedle Farms. Tweedle Farms sells like 10 or 15 packs of Zoe seeds. And they got the Bubba Kush 5.9, the Critical Berries. I think they got like Royal OG. Get those. He said the only thing I've gotten intercepted was with Type 3. Yeah, it's funny. Type 3's packages were notoriously extremely loud. I'm surprised more of them didn't get intercepted. I really like the Remedy cookies from Believer. I believe I tried that strain at some point in time. I don't remember what I thought of it. Excuse me. I'm burning off all my breakfast. I had roasted potatoes, soy chorizo, and eggs with Carolina Reaper cheese. Oh shit! Oh shit! Damn! I keep it. Who produces the best landrace strains? The closest thing you're gonna get to landrace strains is gonna be the Bubba Kush from Zoe Therapeutics and the CBDV strains from Oregon CBD. So like Pine Walker and Forbidden Bee are essentially, I mean, it's not even essentially, they are basically landrace sativa strains. And the Zoe Therapeutic strains are as close to a landrace indica that you're going to get in the CBD. And I'm talking about in all aspects, besides maybe the cannabinoid profile. But the way the plants grow, their morphology, their pigmentation, smell, taste, vigor, flowering time, all that. Oops, shit. Channel Stupendous. Yeah, I don't know if you were here, but I was telling you, I was telling the chat, there's definitely a resistance forming, and there's definitely a fight. There's definitely a fight that's gonna happen. People aren't going down without a fight. I'm actually in a group chat. I got put in a group chat yesterday of a bunch of hemp company owners, and they're actually, putting together their money and whatever on the East Coast to try to fight this. There's multiple movements, different groups around the country. The main thing, though, kind of the overarching theme with all of these groups and coalitions and everything is they're pushing for a cap on total THC that's high enough that allows all full spectrum hemp to be produced legally. So, like, for example, what Rand Paul has been pushing for in the Senate is a 1% total THC cap. So anything that is 1% or less will be completely legal, just like hemp has been. But there is a set ceiling, so people can't abuse it. THC will be a thing of the past, or THCA will be a thing of the past. But the hemp industry, as intended, will be allowed to live on. JC said, to be clear, who grows the best THCA landrace strains? They don't grow these strains, but WNC has, I did a video on this. WNC has the biggest selection of THCA, landrace, and old school strains. So if you're looking for those old school classics, the landrace, WNC has them. I don't know what they have in stock right now, but they have at various times Afghani strains, Colombian Gold, Acapulco Gold, AK-47, Jack Harris. They have some hazes, and like those strains like AK-47, Jack Harris, hazes. Those strains are only one generation off from landrace. And a lot of those are two landrace strains put together. So, WNC. Ooh, shit. I keep stepping off the side of it. I already have like 2/3 of my steps for the day. My goal is, I think, 6,500 steps a day, just to maintain like a calorie and fat deficit. Obviously, you want 10,000 steps a day from optimal health, but city living, it's hard to get 10,000 steps a day unless you work in a job where you walk a lot. For me to get 10,000 steps a day consistently would require a huge time commitment, because I don't work in anything that requires a lot of walking. The most walking I do in work, when I go shoot events like weddings and quinceañeras and stuff, I'll get a couple thousand steps in. But A, that's not a daily occurrence, and that takes a lot of time. So, 6,500 steps though puts me on a good calorie burn, and it's a good fat burn. Most of all though, what I'm mostly worried about with the steps is just cardio, right? You're keeping your heart pumping, you're keeping your body oxygenated, you're getting yourself in better shape, even if it is, right now I'm at a really slow pace. But circulation, right? You get a couple thousand steps a day, you're getting good circulation through your legs. A big silent killer or serious injurer in the modern world is deep vein thrombosis. And deep vein thrombosis is when you develop a blood clot in your leg, and eventually that blood clot will go up into your lungs and can either kill you or cause some serious damage. And the way, you can't always prevent it, but one way to help that not happen is to keep good circulation in your legs. And to keep good circulation in your legs, you gotta walk enough. And stand up too. You gotta stand up. And so obviously when you're walking, you're killing two birds with one stone. Whew, shit. I'm making pozole tonight, Jose. I'm thawing the chicken out right now. Around 5 o'clock, I'm gonna make some green pozole. Mexican food is a huge part of LA culture, whether you're Mexican or not. Mexican food is it's ingrained into our culture. David said I run early. That's why I like going to the gym early in the morning. It is a great way to start the day. You fill your body up with like endorphins and stuff. You get going. And a good thing about exercising in the morning, you eat something. Even if you don't eat a whole meal, eat something. You go exercise. You burn off most of the carbohydrates from whatever it is that you ate, or calories if there was no carbohydrates. Whew. And then you get hungry again immediately afterward. But that's because your body needs fuel. And then you eat something else after that. And I don't know what I'm trying to say. It sets you up on a good eating momentum. You want to eat smaller amounts multiple times throughout the day rather than a couple ginormous meals. Or, of course, you don't want to eat a bunch of meals and then a bunch of snacks throughout the day as well. You want to eat a protein-filled breakfast. You can have some carbs. I don't like having a ton of carbs in the morning though, because then it just sets their whole day up bloated and everything. I get really bloated. I could eat a handful of hot Cheetos and I'm gonna look like I'm 5 months pregnant, right? I could have a completely empty stomach, right? And I'll take a pinch of Funyuns, bam, stomach just out. So I like to start the day with, for example, a starch, like some potatoes. and eggs and cheese and some kind of protein, which in my case is some soy chorizo. And then the next thing I eat, let's see, it's 1 o'clock. So I'll eat something. I got a Caesar salad in the fridge. I got a Caesar salad and a peach Greek yogurt. That's gonna be my lunch. And I might have a small snack in the afternoon, and I'm gonna go crazy with some pozole at nighttime. So, just not, oh man. A lot of people overeat without realizing. Just not. And then, you know what? A big lifestyle change that I've made that has made, I think, the most difference besides working out, and that is not eating late at night. Eating late at night will make you fat no matter what you do. And if you're already big, eating late at night will keep you big. Ooh, there's 2 miles right there. I think I'm done. Did 2 miles. Let me take my phone out. Or you know what? Whew, shit. All right. Let's go back over to the. Let's go to the lair over here. Lightheaded. I'm hot. Ugh. So right now, like I said, I'm gonna eat a Caesar salad, extra Caesar dressing. I gotta have a lot of dressing. Caesar salad and a peach Greek yogurt. Probably with a vitamin water. And that's gonna be lunch. John T. Guy said drink some tea. I will probably drink some green tea later on though. Right now I'm running on too little sleep. And then I just exerted a whole bunch of energy. So if I drink any caffeine right now, which is why I didn't make a latte today. I make a latte in most mornings. Like generally in the morning with my breakfast, I'll make a latte. And if I don't have time for that, I'll grab a 0 sugar Monster. 150 milligrams of caffeine. You don't want to do more than that. I need to try to take a nap. Even if it's 30, 40 minutes. I need to try to take a nap so that I have energy for the rest of the day. Because I'm only running on about 5 hours of sleep. Anyways, my point was, if I drink caffeine right now, is not gonna give me more energy. All it's gonna do is make my heart beat a bunch. It's gonna make my heart beat really fast. And I'm just gonna be jittery. I'm gonna be jittery with a high heart rate. So all right, it was nice talking to y'all. Like I said, I'm gonna go eat that salad. And I'm gonna take a shower. And then I gotta go pick up my kids from school in about 35, 40 minutes. So I'll catch y'all. Remember, when you're copping these new harvests, make sure you use my codes for a discount. Make sure you try all the new flavors. Go watch Oregon Hemp Heaven seasons 1 and 2, or episodes 1 and 2. The 3rd episode I'm working on. Episode 3, I'm working on it. That one's the hardest editing wise to do, so it's taking longer to do, but that will be coming out in the next week or two. Episode 3 of Oregon Hemp Heaven. That it's a little bit different than the first 2. I'll just tell you that. It's a little bit different, but really cool. So, all right, y'all. Best place to reach me is on Instagram. If you have Instagram, go follow me there. I post a lot all day. I post a lot of stuff. I don't post nowhere else. 110 Canatographer _. It's in the corner. Go to any of my videos, my recent videos. It's in the corner of the video. All right. Hit me up on Instagram. Check y'all later. Let me see. Let's end this.